lot of people that in the house are doing. So I just want to talk. You probably haven't heard it, but face masks are now mandatory. Well, going to be mandatory at the moment. It's probably iffy at the moment. And today, it probably tomorrow, they'll probably bring it in. On trains, trams, things like that, bus on local league buses, things like that. Now I wish it didn't have to, obviously happen, but I'm just going to say to people, to obviously comply. Um, obviously to comply with it, and obviously because you're going to be fined hugely for it. And I would just say to people, to please, obviously please do your part and play. You obviously wear your mask. Because I know a few elderly people, around, my community are very nervous about getting on buses and getting on, public transport. Are very nervous about it, and and as they were saying, it looks, they find it very reassuring. That's the word I would describe it, when somebody's wearing a mask. So I would just say to people, for the sake of like elderly people, are worried, they're very worried and very anxious, especially because these people have underlying health conditions. They are very anxious. I'm sure people would agree with me, and so please, for the elderly people, because that's what elderly people, the majority of elderly people are taken about. They are afraid when people don't wear a mask or anything like that. So I'm just saying for their sake. I'm not saying for the government of Ireland's sake. I'm just saying for the elderly people of Ireland's sake, because they did come to me and say they were worried, because we do have a local league bus that goes into Cavan Town. And obviously they were very worried. There were some young people not wearing masks, and they were worried too, because there was a few of them, so they were worried about it. And then obviously they were entitled to be worried, because obviously they were wearing the mask and everything. But just for their sake, and obviously because what these fines are going to be huge. We've been given an estimate. The local authorities have been given estimates of how much they could be fined for, and it's not pleasant. Let's be honest. I might as well say straight, it's not pleasant money. A legal Dublin fine is 5,000, something like that. Around that figure for a legal Dublin, and not picking up after your door is a 4,000 fine in Cavan. Not picking up after your door, not picking up after your dog. Imagine picking up after your dog, but anyway. But yeah, it's going to be a lot more. Let's put that. I'm going to say this straight. I can't say the exact, because it's not officially, said this will be the bread and butter. So it's going to be way more than that, in other words. So it's obviously in your best interest just to cooperate, and I say to people, for the sake, not for the sake of yourself, but for the sake of the elderly people using public transport, because it does reassure them. So yeah, thank you.